Residents in southern Tasmania are demanding to know why cloud seeding was conducted over the Derwent River catchment the day before the worst floods in 40 years. Cloud seeding is a technique used to increase rain.
Does the ADEQ have the ability to take a position on this and investigate it further and find out where these toxic metals are coming from that are in our rainwater and in our blood? Thank you.
Is working to make sure we get every drop of rain possible out of this storm.
It shows us cloud seeding is now underway.
With a small pop and a puff of smoke, cloud seeding is done in the hills above Pasadena.
Well, we send up particles from the apparatus behind me that will seed the cloud. It'll go into the cloud, and this particle will be attracting water vapor inside the cloud, creating a drop of water that starts as ice, and as it falls to earth, we get heavier rain.
We've had a lot of cases where we were seeding storms that had no business being seeded. We were just kind of throwing darts, and we were seeing responses in some of those. So we are learning that maybe there's more opportunity with some of these. Maybe we don't even need to have a rain cloud. We could go work cumulocongested clouds that aren't really precipitating yet. And if
radar-absorbing carbon fiber clouds tested under a variety of at-sea conditions using assets from the U.S. Army, Navy, and Air Force. These man-made clouds are part of a layered defense and are capable of preventing a missile from detecting and striking its target.
China is not leaving things to Mother Nature. The Chinese government is planning to employ upgraded weather control systems in Heilongjiang, Jilin, and Liaoning, the three provinces responsible for 54% of the nation's rice production. The project, which will continue until June, involves creating artificial rain using cloud seeding, special aircraft, rockets, and much more. China has been tinkering with the idea for years, but how controllable can the weather be? Mr.
Yes, Fletcher, another question on the in an interview with the Los Angeles Times on April 21st, you said that you told the Associated Press that the American government has created weather tampering techniques so that the New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans and to control the rest. Would you explain what you were trying to say?
Well, what I was trying to say is exactly what I said. There is weather control techniques. We have a complete package on that, which I did not bring, but I certainly will see to it that it is brought in for the record. Number one, the entire patents on the equipment. Number two, Senator Claiborne Pell's complete statement and story of his own that not only does it exist, but that we even utilize it as far back as the Vietnam War. You might want to touch base with Senator Pell.
I just want to repeat before I turn to
So yes, but we do have all that information.
You're saying the government has created weather tampering techniques so that the, quote, New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans.
Worldwide.
Millions of Americans, and to control the rest.
All right, guys, welcome in, welcome back. We made it to another 16-day forecast. Went downhill for a couple days, but I'm a little better now. Hopefully the voice will hold out. Let's jump into it. Let's get in the main screen. There we go. Had some big earthquakes going off. We got crazy sun weather. We got the mainstream media coming out talking about how they've been engineering the weather. The same things that we've been showing for over a decade now. They're starting to come out. We got articles coming out all over the place. Aviation chief rejects measures to curb climate impact of jet vapors. So we got to get into all this. And then we just had the feds come out. They're going to spend $2.4 million on cloud seeding for the Colorado River. And they also admit they've been modifying the weather for decades with ground-based generators, all kinds of stuff. And then also the UN's science report comes out. Of course, all the stuff that's going on that they don't want you to know that we've been exposing for a long time. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of these articles and we'll jump into the weather stuff. Strong earthquake kills 14 in Ecuador, 1 in Peru. We had the big 7.1 that went off, and we said all that energy was going to boogie around. Here it comes. Plus the sun is going nuts. I mean, there's this huge tornado on the top of the sun, which I didn't even know about it. And I actually filmed the sun a little bit today. And I would have filmed up there if I would have known about it. I didn't know about it until I got on here. We had a big earthquakes in Alaska too here. I got one browser in the wrong spot here. Oh man, well, I thought I was all ready, but apparently. Here, we had a 4.2 in the Bay of Plenty down in New Zealand. They got a big swarm going on down there. Right where the big 7.1 hit. And then by Christchurch, that's New Zealand. I got these on the wrong stuff. And then Alaska, we had a 5.4 earthquake near Homer Shakes, south central Alaska. Occurred at 7:06. No tsunami. So we got a lot of Earth movement going on. A lot of space weather going on. And a lot of weather. Let me see here. Man, I can't believe I got all these in the wrong place. Here, I'll just do them like this. Bushfire closes more than half of the Larapinta Trail in Central Australia. Now they're going to start burning them out. Floods and the fires. It's the same scenario worldwide. All the weather plans are basically the same. Sydney suffers through record heat wave not seen in 65 years. They're going to push all this stuff. This is all part of the New World Order, every bit of it. We knew they were going to use the weather to bring in this New World Order. You hear them all talking about it now. Dual storms have swiped California with flooding rain, mountain snow. So we got more weather coming in for them. It looks like we'll see the target zones here in just a minute. Just trying to get through some of these real quick so I don't lose my voice. Look at the snow on the snow list. 35-foot tall ski list buried in the snow in California. Now all this snow, all this rain is putting pressure down on the plates. Could cause a big earthquake along with the wind, along with the solar activity and the other earthquake activity. We've seen them do it when they built dams for lakes and stuff, the weight. just the displacement of the ground. So far, there's been 623 inches of snow at Bear Valley. Just 17 inches away is surpassing the all-time record set in 82-83. So it's happened before. So they can call it climate whatever, but it's already happened. Yeah, we already went over the second storm. We'll do that in the 16-day forecast. We got a big spraying operation over in Europe. Frozen strawberries sold at Costco have hepatitis A infections in them. And just like over in California and Australia where the China's took over, we've got thousands without power due to wild wind. You can't keep the power on when the wind's blowing. How about them wind farms? All right, so let's I went over this the other day on the backup channel. But let me just read this before we get into the 16-day forecast. I got to probably try to keep this quick because my voice is going to go out. So the Fed spent $2.4 million on cloud seeding for the Colorado River. The weather modification method uses planes and ground-based cannons to shoot silver iodide crystals into clouds, attracting moisture to the particles that falls, additional snow and rain. The funding comes as the key reservoirs on the Colorado record hit record lows. The federal funding would go toward upgrading the manual generators. See, they're upgrading them. They're already there. They can be remotely operated using planes to seed clouds in parts of the upper Colorado River Basin, according to the Southern Nevada Water Authority documents in the board meeting. The Southern Nevada Water said in a grant that it will be all used to do cloud seeding in the upper basin. Colorado, Utah, Wyoming each spend $1 million and $1.5 million a year for cloud seeding. See, most people don't know. They've been cloud seeding for decades. They have over $1 million of budget just for a couple of states here. Utah's legislature recently expanded their investment in cloud seeding programs in the next year budget to $14 million. So if you think they're making a lot of clouds now, just wait. Numerous studies indicate cloud seeding add 5 to 15% more precipitation. Just look at California. Since 2007, cloud seeding budgets in those states in 2018 about $1.5 million annually. They've been doing it over 10 years here. 2 million to 4 million acre feet of water. So that's one of the articles that we went over the other night. So here we go. Airlines and airports oppose measures to combat global warming caused by jet vapor trails. The evidence suggests account for more than half the aviation industry's climate impact, new document reveals. The industry argued in government submissions that the science was not robust enough to justify reduction targets for these non-CO2 emissions. See, they're trying to say it's non-CO2. Scientists say climate's impact of vapor trails or contrails have been known for more than 2 decades. Try about 40 to 60 years. In fact, before I read this, let me play a clip from 43 years ago, how exactly what they're doing today is what's been going on for over 40 years. Listen to this. Listen to the craziness. And remember, this is 43 years ago.
On clear days, you can often see long white lines being traced high in the sky. They are contrails of jet aircraft, actually long, slender clouds. Weathermen are finding them especially fascinating because a theory is being developed that those long white lines may be changing our weather for the better. Details from Roger O'Neill.
The exhaust from jet engines, usually seen as long, thin trails of white clouds behind high-flying jet airplanes, may be a big reason why there are 30 fewer days of sunshine a year in the Midwest now than there were in 1900. The daily range between high and low temperatures has also narrowed. Weather researchers studying cloud cover in 10 Midwestern states found a sharp increase in cloudiness with the increase in commercial jet travel. Particularly in the main east-west jet corridor, there were even more clouds. A jet produces a contrail, or cloud, because its exhaust consists primarily of water vapor.
In the absence of natural clouds, given the correct atmospheric conditions, jet aircraft in high frequency can almost completely cover the atmosphere, visible atmosphere, with clouds.
Simonin says unlike most changes in the atmosphere caused by man, this one is beneficial. Clouds help farmers in the Midwest by blocking the sun. Temperature extremes can damage plants and speed up the evaporation of soil moisture. In the winter, city people benefit because clouds act as a blanket, preventing warm air from escaping into the atmosphere.
No one is trying to make clouds now using jet engines, but this study suggests that jet travel is inadvertently making our days more cloudy. And someday, weather researchers may be able to use jets on purpose.
So they're going to use the jets on purpose to affect the weather. So what's going on with this article? Well, can you believe that, man? Clouds act as a blanket. Of course they do. While carbon emissions from the jet engines contribute to global heating, research suggests that contrails form when water vapor and soot particles form into ice crystals have a even greater impact. These man-made clouds trap heat into the atmosphere that would otherwise escape into space. Lobbying on vapor trails in documents obtained by Open Democracy highlights lacked a consensus among the airline executives. So anyway, they're just, everything I've been talking about is coming out to light. Then this is the global, man-made global warming. I mean, climate is always going to change. It's been changing since the beginning of history. It's always going to change. They can keep using global warming, climate change, climate, whatever they want. They're not going to change a thing. But they're going to force you to do the New World Order. Yeah, we're probably buffering. And now, they want to take over all the water. Nevada could turn off water for residents who use too much water. We're already paying for the cloud seeding. We're paying for the rain. You could look on your light bill or your water bill, and it goes to part of that cloud seeding operations. Some of you even say polar vortex on your bill. So a new bill introduced at the State Assembly last month would allow the Southern Nevada Water Authority, the same people that are cloud seeding, to limit how much water customers in Las Vegas can use in the event it deems the Colorado River too far. So even though you're paying millions of dollars a year for the cloud seeding operations that's been going on for decades, now they can take your water away. Sometimes they're outlawing rainwater and all that crazy stuff. So this is really the real weather information. So right now the solar winds up 424. We're under a geomagnetic storm watch. I tried to film this sunspot today. I didn't get very good footage, but check out this solar tornado. For much of the past week, astronomers have been watching a colossal solar tornado dance near the sun's north pole. It's been twisting around for 3 days now. I mean, that's pretty crazy, man. Hopefully I can get my stuff going good enough I can film that. Then we had this giant dark plasma eruption. We also had another one. There was a real weird one at the top, real wide one, which is not on here no more. One fireball. And I am working on here's the shot I've got of the couple shots of the sunspot I got. It's not very good. I'm not done processing them, or these were just some little tests. That's what I got this morning, or actually that might have been the ones yesterday. I got some yesterday, and then I got some today which I haven't processed. In fact, I think I'm working on it now. Yeah, I haven't even got to do anything with it yet. Just trying to figure out how to stack it right. Alright, that's not working. Oh, here it is. We had a 60,000 mile tall plasma waterfall snap showering the sun. So, I mean, the sun is going nuts. The whole earth is going nuts. And all the people in charge are nuts. We got everything coming from every direction. Looks like most power outages have dropped down below 4,000. California still 35, Michigan 2,200, Arizona 2,100, Tennessee 17, Texas. So we're pretty good on that. Bunker fuel operations are all gone. Looks like now if we just go back to set up these storms, here was the operation that really set everything off into motion, where we had the tornadoes in Texas and other places over this last storm. But right now we're getting a little break from till the next operation. We got a little bit of a spray job going over Texas, Louisiana, setting up for the next storms. The big ones that are getting hit right now are up here over Ireland and the UK. They're getting waxed. This is probably the biggest spraying operation I found on the maps today. Look at all these synthetic man-made aircraft sun-blocking aerosols that'll be injecting particulates into the clouds, creating more rain. So Ireland and the UK is getting super waxed. You can see the ugliness of the man-made clouds. Hey, things out there, Philip. All right, we got a couple of Invest still 93p, 91p. Nothing to talk about there yet. All right, let's go ahead and get into the 16-day before I lose my voice here. So right now we're looking at the next 16 days of total precipitation. We can see the target zone still Washington, Oregon, Northern California, and then the mountains of California. The secondary is a whole Ohio Valley area through Missouri, swath through Texas, Arkansas, Missouri, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. Looks like mainly Kentucky, Tennessee, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, right on up through. So the pattern doesn't look like it's going to change a whole lot here. Let me go ahead and get this on where we need it. All right, we're going to go up 6 hours at a time. I'll stop and talk. If I see something we really need to talk about, I'm going to try to get through this pretty quick here. We see the blue lines. This is the cold. So we're probably going to push that cold out, hopefully, here pretty quick. So let's go on up. We got a little bit of thunderstorms down there for Florida going into Monday. The cold air is still sticking around. You know, light snow and rain for the west. It's pretty windy. We're going to be windy again. This has been the windiest last couple of years here. It's more than normal. Hey, things out there tippy top. So it's definitely been windier. That's because there's compression events going on the ionosphere. So it looks like our next system coming in the west coast could be right around Tuesday. Coming in with a low pressure, 987. We got our rain coming in for the Midwest, right smack in the middle over Missouri. So you got another wave coming in, going Tuesday into Wednesday, and it just kind of sits there a little bit. Of course, you got the cold air, the front going up to the north. This is all on Wednesday. Same areas getting hit over and over and over. We'll just take this on up. We're into Thursday. Little heavy snow band, little ice maybe there for northern Nebraska, South Dakota, Minnesota, parts of northern Iowa. So all the cold air is going to be around California up and over where we'll have a little warm up. West Coast, BC, Washington getting some light, heavy snow. And then the next big storms are going to hit right around Thursday, Friday, right over Missouri. Tornado weather. Possibly at least heavy thunderstorms. Right over central Missouri, right up the I-44 corridor. And then it really grows into a rain bomb. Right over the growing areas. So here, Thursday, Friday, this is Friday. We're going to have a big system all the way from Mexico all the way up over to the East Coast. Mega rain bomb. We got cold air right there by it. Warm air coming up. We'll have to look at the convective energy to see how severe these are going to be, but they're definitely going to be a rain bomb. So be looking for flooding. The winds don't look too bad right here. So that's Friday, and then it starts dropping down through the day. So there's definitely going to be some severe weather with this. Dropping down, the cold air is going to be pushing it down. So mega rain bomb coming in towards the end of next week. From Missouri south and southeastward, and then a little cold air back behind it again. You got heavy moisture with this one. Then by Saturday, it lets up a little bit. Snow for the upper northeast. Still some rain, little rain bombs down in Alabama, Georgia. Then it turns into a rain machine or a snow machine up to the northeast. You have some more heavy snow, sleet, ice, all that stuff. Going right up through the same areas it's been getting it. Winter time's not over, even though spring starts, I think, tomorrow. Here we are on next Sunday, so we've made it to next Sunday. New storm pops off. You notice these storms always pretty much try to hit on the same days. You almost have scheduled rain days. So next Sunday, March 26th, another little bit of rain and snow for the Midwest. Looks like Nebraska could be getting some snow. Northern Kansas, parts of Iowa. And along with some heavy thunderstorms out ahead of it. So they're in for a little more snow. Cold air straight across. So we're not done with the cold. Then we got another rain bomb popping off Monday the 27th for the south, the deep south, Florida Panhandle. And then the next wave's coming in the west coast with a bunch of extra wind. And this system over the middle here on Monday is like a land hurricane. It's going to be really windy, like a blizzard. Tracking across. Florida's going to be getting hit the 27th with some rain bombs with that system. And we're going into Tuesday, and here comes California getting hit again. The whole upper northwest cold air is going to come down on Tuesday, March 28th. So we got a pretty good band of cold air coming all the way down, even into the deep south a little bit. So we got a couple more waves of this cold. If we get a chance, we'll just see just how cold. But then kind of a little break from the storms going from Wednesday into Thursday. Now we got big time winds coming in Thursday, coming in from the north. But the cold air is going to stay over to the east. But man, that's a lot of wind right there. And then it's showing a big ice storm right around March 30th for the same areas, southern Nebraska, northern Kansas, northern Missouri. So we got another little cold blast coming here on March 30th. Could set up for some major power outages. Doesn't look like too heavy a moisture. But it's going to be hard to say right now, but it could be enough to knock a bunch of power grids out going into March 31st. Then the next rain bomb over Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, March 31st, along with that system. And it's going to just start heading east. So we definitely got several rain bombs and then snow bombs for the upper north coming in. So you're not done with winter time yet. Going into April 1st, April 2nd. And then here we go again, Sunday, April 2nd, another storm right over the middle of the country. Snow for the north, rain for the south. It's the same scenario over and over till we see the next bunker fuel operation. And then we'll get a little bit of a break around the 4th. California's getting a little bit of a moisture in the real small targeted area in the mountains. And it just kind of hangs out there for the whole day. So that's the 16-day forecast for us. Let's go ahead and check some other regions. Just total accumulated precipitation. And see how like UK and all them's doing. Yeah, I was feeling pretty good Thursday and Friday, and then Saturday, man, I started feeling pretty crappy. Right now I'm really dizzy. Voice is kind of messed up. So here we go. Looks like Norway is going to get in on quite a bit of moisture. Of course, the west side of the UK and all Ireland, that's where all the spraying operations are going on right now. So we know they're getting hit. Let's go ahead and check Australia. Looks like Tasmania, the southern part of Australia, is going to get, and maybe even a little bit over here on the west coast, a little bit to the north. Believe me, they're going to start burning the place out pretty soon. Let's go ahead and check New Zealand. Yeah, I got one more round of doctors next week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I'm hopefully done for a long time. So we got quite a bit of moisture going in the west side of New Zealand. And we'll just check the East Asia. I always feel really good in the morning, and then once everything starts swelling up, man, I start getting crappy through the day. So it looks like Japan's finally getting a little break. Maybe the southern tip of the island. China's going to be getting a little moisture. Looks like India's could be getting a little moisture. And let's just go look at one thing real quick. Or a couple of things, really. Now, I wanted to show is the carbon monoxide. Everything, you know, the CO2, these are surface concentrations. They want to talk about how dirty our air is. Here we are looking at the United States. Looks pretty clean. We always have a little high spot over here in Southern California and a high spot around the upper Northeast. And then a high spot usually around the Great Lakes. But we can see this all looks pretty clean. And they want us to pay more carbon credits. Now we just go on over here. Talk about cleaning the air. Look at China and India. Of course, these are fires up here. But this is their carbon monoxide surface concentrations. Now, how are you going to battle worldwide climate intervention if you don't clean this up? All this stuff drifts right over to us. You can see the mass cloud coming over. Without doing anything over here, nothing we do over here, we're already super clean. Everybody's super clean, except for the main culprits right here. Unless you do this, we shouldn't even be talking about carbon taxes or cleaning anything. This needs to be addressed first. And then the other thing is that we usually talk about, we're not going to tonight, is the shipping industry air pollution. Just like the plane trails, all these lines right here are from the shipping industry. These are the shipping chemtrails. These are some of the most toxic emissions on the planet, killing 400,000 people a year due to lung cancer, cardiovascular disease, causing 14 million childhood asthma cases each year. And they're covering the planet. You can also see it, they're high in sulfur. It's making the storms more intensified, more electrified. And all that stuff. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump off here. Thanks everybody out there that helps us and supports us. And hopefully I'll get to feeling better here soon. And get back on this good. Anyway, guys, much love. Armor up, eyes to the sky. And I'll have some pretty good pictures for you. I've been working on some shots of the sky. I've had 2 clear nights, so I've been trying to get the everything going, shooting a few things up there, and then I'll have some pictures for you soon. That's what I'm working on the last 2 nights. Anyway, guys, armor on, much love, eyes to the sky, and we'll try to catch you tomorrow or the next day or something. Be safe, armor on. Definitely wear the armor. We're going to need it.